One of the most important issues in international trade is the security of trade transactions. While dealing with imports and exports, the most vital thing that the traders often worried about is payment terms. Unlike local trade deals, doing trade with traders who are sitting miles away may create worries about the terms of payments. This is, the buyer may not want to release the payment prior to the shipment, since they don't know whether the seller is having enough goods to ship or not. And also, on the other hand, the seller doesn't want to ship the goods firsthand, because they may not know the creditworthiness of the buyer. So, for all buyers and sellers, it is a must to be aware of the methods of payment in international trade available in the market. In this chapter, we are going to focus on how you can protect your interest while performing international transactions, and which banking tools can be used by the parties to minimize risks in international trade. International payment are transactions that involve more than just the banks. They connect companies, individuals, banks, and settlement institutions operating in at least 2 different countries with different currencies that need to be paid. In concurrence with the expansion of the Internet and the international trading, making international payments has become easier due to improved bank services. Payment instruments, also known as credit instruments or negotiable instruments, are essential parts of payment systems. Providing and using payment instruments generally does not generate systemic risk. However, these instruments should be safe and efficient to maintain confidence in the currency and promote an efficient economy. A negotiable instrument is a written document which entitles a certain amount and is transferable from one person to another, by simple delivery or by endorsement and delivery. Major instruments used for making international payments are bill of exchange, promissory note, and check. The bill of exchange, commonly referred to as the draft or the bill, is an unconditional order in writing, signed by the maker, directing a certain person to pay a certain sum of money only to or to the owner of a certain person or to the bearer of the instrument within a predetermined time frame or on demand by the bearer of the instrument. A bill of exchange transaction can involve up to 3 parties. The drawer is the party that issues the instrument in order to receive a payment. The drawee is the party that pays the sum specified by the bill of exchange. The bill is made and signed by the drawer and accepted by the drawee. The payee is the one who receives that sum. The drawer and the payee are the same entity unless the drawer transfers the bill of exchange to a third-party payee. Bills of exchange can be classified based on the drawer. If a bill of exchange is issued by a bank, it can be referred to as a bank draft. The issuing bank guarantees payment on the transaction. If bills of exchange are issued by individuals, they can be referred to as trade drafts or commercial drafts. Bank drafts are usually clean. A clean bill of exchange does not carry shipping documents. Commercial bills are mostly documentary bills. In this, the bill of exchange is supported by the relevant documents such as bill of lading, warehouse receipt, insurance policy, packing list, commercial invoice, etc. that confirm the genuineness of a sale or transaction that took place between the seller and the buyer. It is also known as credit bill. Bills of exchange can be based on period as demand bills and time bills. If the funds are to be paid immediately or on demand, the bill of exchange is known as a side draft. In international trade, a side draft allows an exporter to hold the title to the exported goods until the importer takes delivery and immediately pays for them. However, if the funds are to be paid at a set date in the future, it is known as a time draft. A time draft gives the importer a short amount of time to pay the exporter for the goods after receiving them. Based on circulation region, there are inland bills and foreign bills. If a bill of exchange is drawn between two parties that is located or residing in the same country and thus is made payable in the same country, that is called inland bill. If a draft is drawn and involves parties in two different countries, it is referred as a foreign bill. For example, an international bill might involve a seller located in China, where the bill is drawn and a buyer in Spain, then the bill is made payable in Spain, the buyer or drawee's location. A bill of exchange must clearly detail the amount of money, the date, and the parties involved, including the drawer and the drawee. It is important to note that there are 3 days of grace allowed to the drawee to make payment to the payee when it comes due. It is frequently used in international trade to pay for goods or services. Different from the bill of exchange, promissory notes are often used in domestic trade agreements. Promissory notes are legal lending documents. It is signed by the maker and is a promise to pay a particular amount of money in a given period only to or to the order of a certain person. The most important feature of a promissory note is once it is drawn by the debtor, it need not be accepted by the creditor. Only drawer and payee are involved in the promissory note. Drawer is the debtor who promises to pay the amount to lender or creditor. Payee is the creditor who is being promised by the borrower or debtor about the pending payment. A promissory note typically contains all the terms pertaining to the indebtedness, such as the principal amount, interest rate, maturity date, date and the place of insurance, and the insurer's signature. Check is a type of bill of exchange used to discharge the liabilities, and so it consists of all the features of a bill of exchange. It is an unconditional order drawn on a banker, instructing a bank to take funds from the buyer's account and transfer the money to the seller's account. A check is always payable on demand, that is, the amount is paid to the bearer of the instrument at the time of presentment of the check. It should be noted that the insurer must have an account with the bank. There is a specified time limit of 3 months, during which the check must be presented for payment. If a person presents the check after the expiry of 3 months, then the check will be dishonored. Check is the least popular or almost never used payment method in international trade. As we discussed above, bills of exchange, promissory notes, and checks are negotiation instruments whose benefit could be passed on from its original holder to a new holder. They have common features in nature, while more differences in usage. Among them, as the medium of payment, Bills of exchange are used more frequently in foreign trade. Bill of exchange transaction process may vary along with the selected payment method. Next time, we will talk about the various payment methods in international transactions and try to find the usage of the drafts. See you then.